Yemen, you probably only hear about it when disaster strikes. And lately, that's all the time. To understand why, let's rewind to 1967, when South Yemen kicked out the British after a century of colonial rule. But instead of one happy country, there were two: a socialist South backed by the Soviets and a conservative tribal North, supported by Saudi Arabia. Imagine two feuding neighbors, each with their own friends, glaring over the fence and stockpiling weapons. They fought, made up, distrusted each other, and repeated the cycle for decades. This North-South divide wasn't just a line on a map. It was a deep crack in Yemen's foundation. Different politics, different economies, different allies. The North was tribal and conservative, the South secular and state-run. The dream of unity was always there, but the reality was a fragile, mismatched puzzle. These divisions set the stage for the chaos that would follow. And as we'll see, those cracks only got bigger. In 1990, North and South Yemen unified, on paper, a triumph. But it was more shotgun wedding than fairy tale. The North's president, Ali Abdullah Saleh, took charge, and the South quickly felt sidelined. Old resentments flared. The South had oil, but the North took the power. By 1994, unity collapsed into civil war. Saleh's forces crushed the South, reuniting Yemen by force, not reconciliation. Saleh ruled for 2 decades, playing tribes and foreign powers against each other, juggling problems instead of solving them. Corruption soared, the economy tanked, and youth unemployment exploded. Old grievances simmered, waiting to erupt. Saleh's balancing act couldn't last forever. In 2011, the Arab Spring hit Yemen, and the pressure cooker finally blew. The snakes Saleh had been dancing with turned on him, and Yemen's real nightmare was just beginning. The Arab Spring brought hope and chaos. Protests forced Saleh out, replaced by his vice president, Hadi. The international community cheered, but the transition ignored Yemen's real problems: southern separatists, the Houthis in the north, and Saleh himself, who stayed in Yemen with immunity. Saleh used his loyalists to undermine Hadi, while the Houthis, marginalized Shia rebels, saw their chance. They tapped into anger over corruption, and in a wild twist, allied with Saleh to seize the capital, Sana'a, in 2014. Hadi fled. The government collapsed. Saudi Arabia, fearing Iranian influence through the Houthis, launched a massive air campaign in 2015. What started as a local power struggle exploded into a regional war. The internationally recognized government was in exile. The Houthis controlled the capital. The state had collapsed. Yemen was now the battleground for a proxy war, and the suffering was just beginning. Yemen's war is a tangled web. On one side, the Houthis controlling the north and capital, allegedly backed by Iran. On the other, a fractured coalition, Saudi-backed government forces, UAE-backed southern separatists, and a mess of militias, all with their own agendas. The anti-Houthi side is more dysfunctional band than United Front, sometimes fighting each other as much as the Houthis. The UAE and Saudi Arabia, supposed allies, have clashing visions for Yemen's future. Meanwhile, extremist groups like Al-Qaeda and ISIS thrive in the chaos, carving out territory. The result? A civil war layered with regional rivalry, separatism, and terrorism. It's a conflict lasagna, every layer a new disaster. No one is really in control, and ordinary Yemenis are caught in the crossfire. Who pays the price for all this? Ordinary Yemenis. The war has created the world's worst humanitarian crisis. Millions face famine, disease, and daily violence. Hospitals, schools, and water systems are rubble. The economy is shattered. Children are starving, not because of drought, but because of bombs and blockades. This is a man-made disaster, fueled by local factions and their powerful backers. The US and UK have supplied weapons and support to the Saudi-led coalition, making this crisis a global responsibility. Yemen's suffering isn't distant or irrelevant. It's a warning of what happens when politics and indifference run wild. Instability, refugees, extremism, these don't stay contained. The world has a moral and strategic interest in ending this war. The first step? Paying attention. Because Yemen's people can't afford to be forgotten.